We begin this Sunday at 5:30 with breaking news: a major wildfire burning just north of Flagstaff. Good evening and thanks for joining us here on 12 News at 5:30. I'm Jonathan McCall. The pipeline fire sparked this morning and has already grown to 1,000 acres by this afternoon. The fire starting 6 miles north of Flagstaff with a large plume of smoke. This is a live picture of the scene unfolding. So far, it has grown to at least 1,000 acres with more than 150 people on the ground working to contain it. It was first reported by a fire lookout and is growing quickly. Right now, it's still unconfirmed just how the fire started, but in the last 30 minutes, the Coconino County Sheriff's Office says they do have a man in custody accused of violating the ban on burning fires in that area. Fire crews on the ground facing hot and windy conditions, which are now pushing the fire east. A shelter has now been set up at the Sinawana Middle School for anyone impacted by the evacuations. If you happen to live in the Flagstaff area, you've likely seen that huge plume of smoke from the fire. This map shows exactly where the pipeline fire is burning tonight. Again, it is some 6 miles north of downtown Flagstaff, nearly the same distance just southeast of the Arizona Snow Bowl. Here's a live look at the evacuation orders that are in place right now. Evacuation go orders have been set for areas around Schultz Pass Road, Arizona Snow Bowl, as well as Timberline. Those are outlined in green. Set status in yellow, now in place for folks in Mount Eldon, Lookout, and Estates and Doney Park. Right now, a stretch of US 89 shut down in both directions in that area over fears that the flames could jump the highway. Meanwhile, we want to show you some of the videos and images that we've been receiving all day. This is video from Ann Heitland showing the huge plumes of smoke coming through Schultz Pass. She says she lives on Townsend-Winona Road near the 89. Chris Vargo capturing the fire from Flagstaff. You can see the bright red that's at the base of the smoke where fire crews are now dropping fire retardant there. Meanwhile, take a look at this image from Mitch Stroman, who caught the fire as it quickly moved to the east. He says there were strong winds when he took this video that were pushing the flames. Meanwhile, 12 News weather watcher Heather Marshall Pierce sending us this video. She says she was near Doney Park driving back into town on 89 when headed south when a tanker flew right over her. And weather watcher Natah Nasheed sent us this video of the large smoke plume seen from his neighborhood. From this angle, it looks like the wind is moving the smoke up the mountain. And you can guess that there's plenty of smoke and plenty of flames that are happening right now. Team 12's Michael Dowdna just arrived there in Flagstaff in just the last hour. Michael, what do you know? What have you been able to gather from investigators and authorities there on the scene?
Yeah, Jonathan, I mean, you can really just see the flames behind me right now. You see the browns and the blacks of this smoke. And it's been like this pretty much for about the hour and a half or so that I've been here. And the main reason that's causing all of this to go and be pushed so quickly is that wind. In fact, fire officials have told me it's the Schultz Pass right here that's acting almost as a funnel that is causing this wind to push it over the 89 towards the northeast. Now, the good news with that is that there so far are no structures that have been confirmed to have been destroyed by this fire. And a lot of it's because it's been burning along the tunnel fire, which has already destroyed a lot of property from just a couple of months ago, but it's also pushing more towards that wilderness area. But the winds are a major concern because they can change so quickly. And if they do, well, then that could push it more towards the population. That's why there's such a large evacuation zone right now. In fact, the sheriff up here says that they've actually evacuated more people for this fire than they did for the tunnel fire that was just a couple months ago. In fact, I was actually talking to some people who had to evacuate for the tunnel fire, who I talked to last time, that had their houses destroyed because of that fire. And they say that this feels like deja vu once again, and that they're just hoping not any more of their property is destroyed.
I was saying black and orange smoke, that would be reason for that. That's concerning.
I can't say that there really are any emotions. I mean, it's just, it's almost like routine now. It's ironic to say, but I mean, we lost everything in the last fire. We still had the little guest house that survived. Hopefully that survives this fire, because if it doesn't, then everything's gone.
Annoyed that that keeps happening.
Obviously, our concern is for the people that are in the way of this fire going right now, but obviously another huge concern of ours is the fact that if this wind does change directions, it creates a whole other group of problems for us, burning into areas that haven't been affected by any of the previous fires.
And that's why the Coconino County Sheriff's Office is saying that you need to make sure you are aware of those emergency notifications to know if you need to evacuate, because these winds can change so quickly. And again, Coconino County Sheriff's Office and the Forestry Department have arrested someone who have violated the fire ban, who they believe may be responsible for starting this entire fire that has now burned well over 1,000 acres. We won't get an estimate on exactly how large this fire is until later on this evening, when they're able to get some aircraft up and do some infrared mapping of this fire. So expect that later on this evening, maybe into the earlier tomorrow time period. Also, we are expecting more firefighters to get on the scene coming tomorrow as a Type 2 team, which brings along more firefighters and equipment to come out here to try and make sure they get control of this thing and try to protect as much property as possible. But as you can tell, the wind is blowing right now, and we'll send it back to you and keep you updated as this fire continues to burn. We're live in Flagstaff. Michael Doudna, 12 News.